What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2. The time is now, guys. The time is now. I've talked about this game before. I've always loved talking about this game, and you guys have always seemed to like it when I do that, so I can definitely, and I definitely will, make more videos on it. That's just a quick little, public service announcement. But I guess what I want to say in this video is Sony was ahead of the time, okay? Now, granted, I'm not saying All-Stars was like the greatest game of all time or even the greatest fighting game of all time. Now, I will say my personal opinion is I really love the game, and I actually think it's my favorite, okay? It's my favorite. But, you have Smash, you have others, and, really... And when I say ahead of the time, or ahead of, what's going on, it's because nowadays, right, we're seeing this WB stuff going on, and during the rumors, so I guess to catch everybody up, right, WB, rumor is they have this game called Multiverse, which is going to be probably a free-to-play fighting game. Now, is it going to be the best quality? No. Is it going to be even good? Honestly, it's 50-50. Probably even higher, like a 70-30 that it maybe won't be good, just because of live service-y things that they could do visually from what we've seen so far in leaked pictures, which I cannot and will not show just because of, copyright things. It doesn't look great, but the idea is it's literally a game of just all these characters thrown together. And I've said on record multiple times, I'm completely for that. I have nothing wrong, and I think some people do, which is odd, but it's okay. I have nothing against just making weird games like this. Like, throw together, like, it makes no sense, right? Having Gandalf fight Dumbledore it doesn't make a lot of sense, you know what I mean? But the idea is you're just doing it, you know what I mean? You don't have to have necessarily even a story, or if you did, you could do it like a PlayStation, All-Stars Battle Royale. But the point is, it's happening, right? That was a leak, but it's been, like, shown, like, the roster has been, like, pictures. Like, it's absolutely real. So you have that game. In the original leak for that game, the leaker said that there's also two other, not from WB, but two other major fighting games happening from other companies, okay? So you could be having Disney, you could be having just random, just companies out there just throwing together, like a multiverse game of just all of their IPs, all their properties, all these characters just fighting each other, okay? So basically what you have is, obviously Smash is like undisputed, like they're the king, right? They kind of started it all. PlayStation All-Stars was Smash for PlayStation. That came out, I think, too early, right? Because honestly, now again, I loved it. The game did not sell well. Studio was shut down. All of, I think you guys may know the history of All-Stars. But now you're starting to have a resurgence of this, right? We have Nickelodeon All-Stars, which is a solid game from everything that I've seen. Maybe not spectacular, but not, a piece of garbage, right? You have this multiverse game from WB that could be solid. It doesn't have, I'm not saying it's going to necessarily be bad. I'm surely going to check it out. And then you potentially have others, like I said, Disney, just throw out some big companies that you may think of and, throw out their characters and bam, you have a fighting game, right? So again, the central idea and the title of this video, make a second All-Stars game. Now, granted, there's no, we don't know right now how successful these games are. We know how successful fighting games in general, like Mortal Kombat or Injustice, which I guess both those are from the same team, but like Tekken, Street Fighter, we know the success of some of these games. We know how big Smash is. We also know how good, or, well, not good. We know how All-Stars won, PlayStation All-Stars did back in the day, but we don't know, right now, how Nickelodeon's doing. We don't know how successful this multiverse game is going to be, right? So, granted, it's not like a surefire thing in terms of sales, in terms of success. It's not. It's not. In fact, Sony proved that, even though I think absolutely they should have gotten a second chance. I also think that game, All-Stars, is one of the most underrated games that probably ever released, in terms of that it actually had a ton of promise, had a ton of heart, had just a lot going for it. And again, maybe it's not the greatest game of all time to a lot of people, but I mean, it was, I think, a very special game, and just not a lot of people supported it, which sucks, and you would like to see that not happen for, a second one if we were to ever get one. Again, it's always been like a wishful thinking, or like a dream for me to have a second game. In terms of my personal life, that first game holds a lot of amazing memories to me. I was also unlike Smash, who Sora is my only good character in. And unlike Mortal Kombat, Injustice, any of these games, I actually was good, very good at All-Stars at probably like 70% of the characters, like legitimately good. So I was very happy with my performance in that game. So from a personal perspective, I definitely want a second one. From a channel perspective, now I wasn't around, when the first game was out on YouTube. I would love to, cover the second game like I cover games now. So, it really goes in two different kinds of mediums of my life. I'd really want it back. And again, it's not a success thing, like a guaranteed success thing, but it is a trend. It's a trend that you are at, Fortnite obviously started a pretty negative trend in my opinion, but it started a trend and everybody went for it. Now, I'm not saying this is as big as that, but it's very clear, I think, that this has traction. You know what I mean? You have Smash, you have, All-Stars, that's a relic at this point, right? You have Nickelodeon, you have a WB thing, you could have a Disney thing, you could have this thing. So you're gonna have all these companies just going. It would be really dumb for Microsoft to at least not try it. Really, I really think Microsoft could try it. I think it would be rather successful. It would probably be around maybe the same success as a PlayStation All-Stars. Make a second one. Or just reboot it. You don't even have to call it All-Stars 2 because maybe nobody even remembers the first game, right? Make a new game, have all the same characters that you had, and then just add a that's another thing, right? You think about what has happened since that first game has come out. There's so many. Aloy wasn't around. The new version of Kratos and Atreus in general was not around, right? The Nathan Drake you had was from Uncharted 3. You Sly Cooper could be coming back. You have all of these things they were trying to get from what we kind of understand, right? Crash, so you can maybe throw in Crash as a third kind of party game. But Joel and Ellie were not created yet. You have all of these amazing characters that you can add in. Take what you learned. Obviously, again, the studio was built from industry veterans at fighting games. That's what the studio that made All-Stars was, and Sony shut them down not right after, but a little bit after All-Stars came out. So you're not going to get those guys back again, I don't think. But just copy it. Copy what they did. Have those supers. That's obviously one of the most important things. The idea of it's not really based off of the life points like All-Star or I guess Nickelodeon or Smashes, right? Basically I'm just describing the first PlayStation All-Stars, right? Basically, it was different. It was special. It had a heart of its own. And while it was pretty copycat of Smash, at least back then, nowadays, you look at what Nickelodeon is definitely a cheaper Smash Bros. Option. There's no, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like it or whatever. That's completely up to you, and I have nothing against it. But it is. It's definitely just a skinned, Smash Bros, but not as good. I would very highly argue, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, right? And with Nickelodeon characters, it's fine. It's again, that's the whole point. You know what I mean? It's fine to do these things. If the multiverse game from WB is the same thing, I really don't care, especially if it's free to play, right? There's no barrier of entry. You just play it for free. So you can even do it different ways. You don't even have to have it. Now, again, I think that leads to a lot of bad things that could potentially happen, but that's kind of an aside for now. The point is, you can do these things. You can. And I don't think they have to be, even with Nickelodeon, now it's not really a completed game. There's not too many characters. There's not too many maps. There's not even voice acting for most of the characters. But, so it's not a completed game, but it's a $40 game, I believe, right? So it's not even full price. So again, there's even ways, give us a cheap version. You know what I mean? Do something. So I don't know. You're also in the age of just bringing things back, right? Reboots, remakes, something like that. We're in that age, and we've been in that age for 5, 6, 7 years. So it makes sense to, even if you're Sony and you see all this stuff happen, say over the next 2 years, right? We had Nickelodeon. Say we have this WB game, and say we even have one more. So you have 3 games like this in a 2-year span. Okay, how do you not even just remaster the first? You know what I mean? Just remaster it, give it to us again. Unlock multiplayer support. So you can play it on PS5 and stuff. See how it does. Give us the same game again, slightly improved visuals. Allow you have to make multiplayer available, but sometimes they don't. Make multiplayer available and go on and and see what happens. See if people take to it and say, you know what, we're in this age now, a new age. This is, again, something that's just recently been happening, and let's just make a second game. So I do believe now is the time For a remaster, I don't think a remake. Let's be realistic, right? I mean, we can all hope for a remake. We can even hope for like a All-Stars 2, which is what I ultimately want, because I do want new characters. I want to see, what Sony can do with what they've made recently, adding on to what they already had, and just like third-party games, because that they continue to come out, and there continues to be really cool characters from third-party games. Give us just a remaster. Like, let's take the lowest thing we can possibly, a port I don't think is really fair to fans, right? Remaster it, improved visuals, textures, loading, all that stuff, unlock the multiplayer, and let us play it and see how it does. And then if you want to make a second one, do it. If it fails again 2 times in a row, I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Again, the first game did not sell well. It sold like, I think like 2 million units, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It's not like disgustingly terrible, especially for an exclusive, but I guess it's bad enough where you probably pull the plug on a sequel. I get that. I guess I understand that. So again, like if the remaster comes out and that sucks too, I get it. Shut it down, because obviously it's not working. And maybe the other games fail as well. You know what I mean? But if you don't at least try, you'll never. It's actually like anything in life, right? You'll never know if you don't try. So just give it to us. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Like I said, I love, and I realize even as I'm talking about it, I love talking about this game, so I can definitely make more videos on it. If you guys want to see it, let me know as well in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias that are not, right here, I have a Twitter, I have a second YouTube channel, and we also have a Patreon and YouTube membership, so you guys want to support us financially there. Links for all of those are in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all on the next video.